name's Marty. I'm one of the co-founders of Vulcun and Twitch Alerts. We're building software for streamers that allow them to engage and monetize their user base.
John Gaudiosi, I'm a writer for Fortune magazine. Fortune is one of the leading publications that covers the world of business, and over the last 3 years, they've also started covering the world of eSports.
My name is Mark Reed from Heaven Media, UK-based marketing agency that focuses exclusively for online gamers.
My name is Pieter van de Heuvel. I'm a senior market analyst at Newzoo, where I head up the eSports division. Newzoo is a market intelligence company solely focused on the games industry. We cover traditional games, mobile and eSports.
Marty Strenczewilk, CEO of Splyce. Splyce is a fan web platform. It's the TV guide of eSports, provides fans with easy access to what events are to watch, as well as some great opinion pieces written by the top names in the industry. And we also own a professional team that's top 10 in North America across 7 games.
Hi, I'm Wim Stocks. I'm Executive Vice President of World Gaming and Cineplex. World Gaming is an online tournaments platform. We've been around for almost 5 years, formerly Virgin Gaming. And went back to our original game, our original name, World Gaming, in 2014. We were bought last year by Cineplex, the large theater operator in Canada, have dominant market share in Canada with over 80% of the marketplace in theater operations. And their interest in World Gaming was to help them propel into esports and setting up esports competitions online first, culminating as live events in the Cineplex theaters.
Chrisophe, Agnes. I am Senior Vice President of Vivendi Content. Vivendi is a big European group. We own Universal Music Group, Canal Plus Group, Dailymotion, a lot of assets in distributing content, I would say.
My name is Pearson. I'm the Vice President of Gaming and Revenue Enhancement for Foxwoods Resort Casino. Foxwoods Resort Casino is the largest casino resort in North America. We have 9 million square feet of gaming, retail, and hotel space, food and beverage. We have multiple nightclubs, and we are located in Mashantucket, Connecticut, about halfway between New York and Boston.
James Heldridge. I'm here with eSports Hero. I'm one of the co-founders and acting CEO of the business. eSports Hero is a skilled gaming platform where gamers of all skill levels can come and monetize their skills. We do instant money matches and automated bracketed-based tournaments for the top global esports such as League of Legends, CSGO, Dota 2, Hearthstone, and more.
My name is Ronald Robinson Robbins. I'm the founder and CEO of Mineski Corporation. We do Southeast Asian esports. Mineski has a lot of different lines of businesses in regards to esports. Majority of our manpower is dedicated to Cyber Cafe franchise. We now have 75 outlets both in Philippines and in Malaysia, and we're moving forward to Thailand very soon. Our esports team is also quite reliable in regards to consistency. We have been doing annual regional events since 2008 for the Southeast Asian region, and we have made over 1,500 offline events for grassrooting in our Cyber Cafe franchise.
My name is Jake Smith. I'm the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Ranker Esports. Our goal is to allow players to compete more commonly and even casually if they want to. We allow players to find teams to play in events with that we match make, so we can have efficient and effective ways of finding teams, and then a calendar where you can also find events to play in and tools to manage your team and really take your team to the next level.
Matt Gunnan. I am the VP of Product at Unicorn. We're an online betting company. We provide betting for both countries that have it licensed, that are basically provide a real money product as well as an online currency called Unicoins that allow users to win prizes and stake virtual currency and coins on different matches and players that compete in esports.
Alexei Burdyka, Game Show Media Holding. Game Show Media Holding, this is a media company for esports. In past we are doing a lot of esport tournaments, but right now our focus is media. So we has already launched successfully our TV channel in Russia and CIS countries, and right now expanding the new markets with esports content.
Hi, my name is Stan Press. I'm the Managing Director over at Maggot Advisors. We're a strategic consultancy and research firm in gaming and esports. We're, like I said, a strategic consultancy and research firm. So we do everything from quantitative, qualitative, and deep dive consulting. Focus groups, surveys, and really helping everybody understand the gaming space, esports space, or anything from a digital perspective.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tyrone Wang. I'm the Esports Development Manager here at iBuyPower. At iBuyPower, we do custom gaming PCs, and we help support esports.
Hi, my name is Michael Dodignon. I'm Head of Marketing at Tournament, and I'm in charge of strategic partnerships with game developers and publishers. Tournament is a free and open esports platform for everyone to organize competitions. So regardless the game, the league, and the size.
My name is Mark Donovan. I'm the co-founder of eSportsify. eSportsify is a platform that helps esports teams build out their community engagement. So we provide a platform that allows them to build a website and provides them with a bunch of marketing tools to create engaging content that goes above and beyond just what they're doing competing in games. It allows them to really bring an audience in and start to build something that adds value to their brand and to sponsors, and really builds a community that can support them through all of the ups and downs of the esports ecosystem.
Hi, I'm Mas Abedi. I'm the Director for Global Business Development at SpiderCam. SpiderCam is a system on catenary cables which enables to fly a camera absolutely 100% safe with cables on top of a soccer field or arena or stadium, whatever you want.
So Ed Siebold, I'm COO of Digital 360 Consulting. So we offer consulting services to a number of different companies in the industry, primarily OTT platforms. We do work with CE manufacturers as well. We have some relationships out of China for CE manufacturers, and helping them with distribution of content.
I love the venue, first of all. I've never been over here to this area, and this Sportsman Lodge is very, very cool setting to have this in. It's away from what's going to be the nightmare of E3 for journalists. And also the panels have been interesting, a lot of different people. So as someone who's been covering the industry since the inception, it's been interesting to listen in.
It's been really good. I'm meeting some folks I've only engaged with on a social platform before, so getting a chance to really talk face-to-face with them is great. Interesting to kind of see a mix of newcomers and seasoned veterans talking about topics that affect all of us.
It's great. I'm enjoying the event. I'm getting to network with a lot of different people. I'm enjoying kind of, listening to the different speakers and kind of hearing their perspectives on how the esports industry is changing and growing, and where they kind of foresee the industry kind of going in the next 4 or 5 years. It's been great kind of meeting everyone and being a part of a couple of the panels, and so I've really enjoyed it.
It's been good. I'm here at the event for mostly educational reasons. I wanted to learn a lot about, as much as I could, about esports and potential ways that the traditional gaming and casino business could interact with that business.
It reminds me more the first internet conference I went in the 90s. I know I'm in the internet business since 93, and it's a kind of energy we had in 93, 94 with people we were the first pioneer in this kind of game. And it's what I liked here. It was this kind of, I have this kind of reminder.
The event was awesome. I really appreciated my time today discussing some different perspectives on the esports, and I really had some great conversations, and I see a differentiated value from other conferences I've been participating in, because it got more casual, so we had more intimate conversations.
The event is great. There's a broad range of people from a very narrow industry. So we see publishers, we see betting companies, we see organizers, influencers, agencies, market data. And it's great to get all these people combined and really see where it's heading. It's a fast-moving industry. You could be at an event 6 months ago, and everything right now has changed already. And it's good to see that a broad audience is coming here.
It's a very good opportunity for me to be part of this conference, whereby I can see the perspective of the people outside going in to the region that I am in, and how they view the business, or in the level of maturity of the esports here in the American scene is really quite amazing. People in this conference are really the people that are very informed and experienced.
The event's been fantastic. It's been great to meet a lot of people that have been the superstars of esports for a long time, and also to see some great new upcoming companies as well.
It's been great. Got here early morning and just finished my talk right now. Sort of the story of the daily fantasy episode of Vulcun. And yeah, it's been great.
It's going really good. So there's a whole bunch of people that I think in an intimate setting say things that they normally wouldn't, and share information that they might not have shared. In a lot of panels, you get some really candid opinions that I think are really interesting and really add real value to coming to an event like this, which is what matters most.
The event is pretty cool, so there are a lot of people, and so there are really free format, so you could talk with each other, contact each other, and there are, in my opinion, really good topics on the panel.
I think it's great. It's number one, LA is amazing. Being from Wisconsin, we don't get sun like this out here much. Also, one of my favorite things about the conference itself is the different disciplines that everyone comes from. We have publishers, we have people on the betting side, we have people like myself on more of the community side. So it's great, learning a lot, and really making some great connections and making new friends too.
The panel was great, the session was great, and a big part of getting esports front and center at this big event known as E3.
I really like this event. It's been very valuable. A lot of great, smart, talented individuals here. Investors, fellow people in the skilled gaming space. I've learned a lot, and I'm really happy to be here.
Really interesting. You have a really great group of people. This is the first time we're seeing this eSports 2016 conference, and the timing for E3 actually works out nicely. And I'm very impressed with the initial following.
It was great. Got to meet a lot of interesting people, a really intimate atmosphere, a lot of good conversations.
One of the reasons why I came here was to find some new contacts to esports companies which are interested in doing these big esports events. So we are interested in live events, in offline events, where we can fly and use also our new augmented reality technology.
So working with our partners in the CE space, they actually asked us to take further investigation into esports, looking for distribution over their devices, and they sent us here to do a little bit more research on the space.
It's mostly business people that are focused on the industry. A lot of them are not from the industry, so they're not endemics. I think they're from adjacent industries looking to expand into esports. This is a great venue for them to learn what's going on.
So companies that do events, companies that do marketing, companies that run esports platforms themselves, a lot of different consulting companies that provide various services in the space. It's a lot of senior people, so C-level folks, vice presidents, and then also some people that do the actual work. So I've met some analysts and other folks too that work in the space.
A lot of C-level executives, co-founders. There's venture guys here. It's a pretty high-level conference.
I see a lot of leaders, a lot of founders. I see a lot of CEOs, VPs, executives. I actually say I'm meeting people from accessory brands, from pro teams, from tournament organizers, to endemic sponsors, to our friends in the research space. A lot of people are here. Wide range.
Honestly, for me, it hasn't been as much about the titles. It's everyone here knows what they're talking about. They know the esports space. They know their specific segment. So whether it's I'm a CEO, or if it's I'm meeting a marketing director or something, I'm very confident that everyone knows exactly what they're talking about, and that's really refreshing and really great too.
The conference majority are all key people, vice presidents, presidents, and the way they have built their business around or where they're working, they are really in a position that they know what they're talking about. That's what makes this event good.
Across the board, top down, C-level to director level. Everybody that we met here, heavy contributors in the space, regardless of where they sat in the chain.
CEOs, of course, but also small people from the first level of ranking, which is important because when you are in a very young industry like this one, people from the low ranking at the moment may be tomorrow the big guys, and so it's important to meet everybody and every kind of people.
I'm meeting a lot of VCs, a lot of people that are looking to invest in the industry and get into the industry. That's a lot of just, at these sort of conventions, I do kind of run into a lot of individuals and companies that are wanting to, make a bigger impact in esports and get involved with either a new company or put money into the industry in some form. And I'm also, talking to a lot of kind of new startups and companies that have just started their kind of their initial series of funding, or they just started the company and just launched recently, and they're kind of looking for advice and ways that they can better improve kind of their market share and their strategy moving forward.
We are meeting all up and down the spectrum, from directors to CEOs to owners of businesses to investors in businesses. We're meeting them all.
There are CEOs here, there are CFOs, a lot of technical people on the data side, a lot of people talking about how to share data via APIs, how to make a more transparent industry on where we really can make data-driven decisions.
I think what's great about the event is it's clear that the only people that are attending here are people that are of a seniority or of a point of influence within big businesses here to make big decisions. It's been great to reconnect with some old friends from the esports industry, but what's really exciting is to start to meet people that are incredibly successful from different corners of the earth and also from different areas of the marketplace, especially a lot of newcomers that are coming in from the likes of betting, from the likes of investment. It's been very exciting.
Today I talked essentially with some game developers, publishers, with some VCs companies, with with a lot of organizers, competition organizers, and also from some team leaders, so CEO of team organizations. Yeah, in the C levels definitely, and VP as well.
The quality of the person which you could reach exactly, and so the first, this is the level of the people which are present here, and the second, this is a pretty much free format.
It's a good cross-section of everyone who participates in the ecosystem. I mean, like you said, VCs, you've seen a lot of publishers, you've also seen people who provide products that different people in the ecosystem utilize. And not only that, you've seen teams and people who are actually, driving a lot of the competition in the ecosystem as well. Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of founders, a lot of people who actually make decisions in companies. So, you see the head of a studio, or you see senior vice presidents of business development and stuff like that. It's nice to actually talk to decision makers and really, people that are calling the shots in companies.
A lot of different companies from all different angles of the esports world. My panel was all about gambling, so obviously there's a lot of different lawyers and companies that are involved in that space with esports, fantasy esports, and betting. So a lot of different types of people.
Sure. I've been seeing a lot of VC firms, a lot of investors looking to get into the space. It's been an interesting experience.
We met exactly the people I wanted to meet. One person is actually the gentleman from Vivendi. He is located out of Paris, so it's a very close distance to our company, which is in Hamburg. So we're gonna continue our talks. We met one of our clients here from ESL. We are doing Dota 2 and Counter-Strike in Cologne and in Frankfurt. So we are already in the business, but we want to have more contacts to these big events.
It's a lot more focused on the opportunities in esports. So I like the pragmatic approach, especially the speed networking, which really gets people on the table, which really triggers people to talk about what they're currently doing, what their needs are, and where they're heading.
I think this is a high quality event. It attracted a lot of the same big heads that I've seen at other events too, so I think that's a good sign. And what I like most about this event is that it's esports at a high level. There's no explaining what esports is or what Twitch is. People are really just getting into the meta of the industry and coming up with innovative ways to improve and to move things forward.
Well, number one, I think people forget the power of meeting someone in person and developing a bond specifically in person as opposed to online. You learn a better way to connect to that person when you're doing future business deals together. And number two, I connected with some people I probably wouldn't have necessarily reached out with otherwise, because we happen to sit next to each other or someone was talking to that person, for example. So I think that gives you opportunities to meet people you wouldn't have gone out of your way necessarily to meet to begin with, but maybe end up being a good opportunity for you in the long run.
I think that when you look at events and esports, I think is a unique animal in the sense that it's still a tight-knit enough industry that you can have something as intimate as this and really get to meet people and talk to people that, in other industries, if you look at like getting C-level people from, the TV industry, you wouldn't get the same type of interactivity and conversation and intimate atmosphere that you do here. And I think that's a huge benefit and a testament to what you guys have put together in the sense that you can actually have real conversations with real decision makers and talk about real things rather than waiting in lines and trying to wade through a crowd of people to talk to decision makers.
Things, got things that we have to take back and use at Ranker. Just ways we can alter the platform a little bit, not necessarily a pivot, but things we can just change a little bit to make our platform that much more accessible to our players, because that's my main focus, but also investors and how we can, kind of get some more of that.
Yes, of course, the knowledge and experience that they have shared, and hopefully with the new set of connections that I have here in North America might spark some opportunities to bring to Southeast Asia. Because usually when I work around in my region, I'm always the person that knows more. So people ask from me what I know. But in this event, it's me asking them what they know, what I haven't experienced yet. Depends on the stage of esports here and compared to Southeast Asia.
We did get some ideas. I won't say what my ideas are, but we got some great ideas after listening to a couple of panelists and some concepts about how to do what we're doing in a bigger and better way.
Absolutely. So, one of the things we're looking at the property is ways to, use our physical footprint and our amenities to court different demographics. And one of the things that we've struggled with is understanding how esports and that fan base could, how we can have amenities that appeal to that demographic. And a lot of the folks that I've met and talked to here today are successfully doing that in the space.
Definitely, there was a lot of interesting perspectives in this conference. It was really interesting to see a lot of the team owners and their thoughts, especially with me being on the hardware side and helping out those teams. It's very interesting to see the types of revenue streams they're bringing in, as opposed to what we do here at iBuyPower.
I've taken a few notes. So yeah, there were definitely some wows, some small wows. But I can't recall exactly what it is. I'm just too tired for that. Sorry. I would need to read my notes first.
That's fine. Yeah, I think we've got a pretty defined roadmap ourselves, but I think there's a lot of themes that we definitely look at from this, and some of the things that people are interested in that we might take some cues from, but specifically I can't really say.
I think that it's clear that there was a good and strong agenda for the event. It was nice to see some of the things discussed that otherwise were not too vanilla. They weren't too simple. They were there was a lot of new things to be discussed. But no, Mark, I think there's I'll send you an email with them on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing that we're looking at is the value chain in distribution. So a lot of the folks that you brought to the event were looking at how do they actually reach a broader audience that isn't necessarily part of network television today. A lot of what we're doing is OTT. It's non-network. So we're looking at how do we actually bring that reach, bring that distribution to our partners in the CE space, and also meet the needs of a lot of folks that were here at the event.
What I found interesting was it was quite a good mix. So there were team guys, there were players, executives from companies, and it gave me a good overview because we come from the classic sports. We come from classic sports, from the traditional ones, which you guys call traditional. And in traditional sports, everything has a structure. And what actually was very interesting for me is to find out that there's not really a structure there. And the big problem is also that we have sports genres. So we have soccer, we have field hockey, we have whatever. And then within that field of soccer, for example, we have Champions League and we have the World Cup and the European Cup. But in electronic sports, we have a specific game, and we have another specific game, and another game, and we cannot mix them. So you cannot really compare apples with apples, because every game is different. So you cannot be a winner of Leagues of Legends and be a winner in Dota 2.
I would say that there is a lot of emphasis on skill-based betting and how users can basically wager, real money on themselves to beat another competitor or another player in a match. And our strategy moving forward is to look at how we can basically capitalize on these sort of opportunities. There's a lot of emphasis and a lot of people talking about fantasy esports, and while that hasn't really been a focus of ours, it gives us a lot of insight here that won't be kind of a direction that we're heading, just due to legalities and a lot of the companies kind of staying away from that market.
Honestly, because we actually help build programs for esports conferences, I would be probably not. But what I do like is that there are more events like this. There are more people coming to these things, and every opportunity for a new conference is more opportunity to learn about this space.
I've got a lot of ideas, actually. I got a lot of ideas I could exchange with my buddies in Vivendi, and I'm sure that I will keep in contact with people I met here. We will go further in our discussion later on, and it was very, very productive in terms of ideas and contacts.
Well, being part of the esports betting space and being a skill gaming platform, I really enjoyed the platform we were on, actually. Bryce Blum and the other gentleman to my left, I forgot his name now. I learned a tremendous amount from them. Some of the numbers they're putting forth, from the new reports that haven't even been released yet, were very valuable to me. So I enjoyed the esports betting panel.
The final conference, we got to see the publisher side's perspective, and I thought that was extremely interesting. There's just not a lot of light shown on that for the most part.
I would probably say the sitting down and hearing kind of Vulcun's story and kind of their, I learned a lot more about kind of their situation as far as exiting the real money or the fantasy esports space, and kind of their transition from fantasy esports, and I was kind of thrown back by the fact that they raised $16 million in 2 weeks. That just kind of shows you the interest level of VCs and how much different companies are wanting to be a part of this industry, and what they're willing to do to kind of get their stake in esports.
Honestly, it was probably in the investment panel. It was the things that people think will get popular in esports. One thing that really stuck out to me was the idea of helping players become professionals, and how you can monetize that and get involved with that. That was probably the most surprising thing that I heard today that made a lot of sense, actually.
Well, I would say it was the last session. The lead up, there was one right prior to it that James Heldridge and he had asked a very important question: is how does the industry reach that broader audience? It's a very it's very tight demographic. I mean, you're talking about millennials, and how do you actually communicate to that audience that is non-traditional? And I think the lead into the very last panel to really broaden on that discussion really kind of hit home for what we were here for, myself and my partner. And we learned a lot about what the philosophy is across the current industry of how do you create that reach and not break, I guess, what is core to the demographic of what is esports today. I think there's a solution there. I don't think anybody's nailed it just yet, but I think there's definitely a solution there.
Esports betting was fascinating. We are in the skill-based gaming space, but not in the esports betting space, so it's interesting to see where it's going and what the view of the panel is and projecting where it's going to end up in the next few years.
Well, I was actually only here for my panel. I do apologize about that. Just timing for E3, it's pretty tough. But want to make sure I hit my own panel. I was moderating the marketing and sponsorship strategy panel, and while we may have had a few extra people, we actually got a wide range of people that talk about all the different backgrounds in esports, all the different areas, from teams to accessory brands to sponsorship, talent managers. Really wide range of people. Really like that panel, and I'm grateful to be able to speak for it.
I really enjoyed the really intimate talk with Marty from Vulcun about, as a founder of a software company, actually sitting down and talking to somebody who's been in the news and had obviously really high ups and some downs and also some pivots and are doing really well. It's nice to actually sit down and have like a candid conversation with them and actually go through and talk about and trade notes on how the entrepreneurial life goes.
It was fast. It was, I think, every few minutes we switched. I met 6 or 7 people. You probably could have kept it going. It was very useful. Longer the better. But yeah, it was great.
Speed networking is one of the best things I've seen at events until now. Instead of having people stand around in a room awkwardly, not knowing where to begin, reading business cards, you get people put in front of you, immediately telling you what they're doing, what they see as an opportunity in the industry, and within 20 minutes you have talked to 10 people, of which a large group is already interested to follow up with.
The speed networking, reading it in the agenda, had no idea what to expect, and truthfully, experiencing it was probably one of the best networking experiences that I've been in. In all honesty, I'm sure a lot of people feel this way. Networking doesn't come easy to a lot of folks. It's a little bit of a challenge. But I think the way it was facilitated here of actually getting folks to spend time, whatever it was, may have been, I don't even remember how long it was each session, but it forced you to get in front of folks and network. And extremely successful. And anybody that's not out there doing it, I would call Mark and learn a little bit about how he does this. It's an amazing experience.
The speed networking session was very interesting, actually. I've never experienced that before. And so you meet with a bunch of people very quickly. It's like 2 or 3 minutes with each person. And actually you need to talk with these people for that time so that you can very quickly introduce yourself and being introduced to this person.
So speed networking is actually where we get to meet a lot of new people, people in the right positions that can make decisions. If only we had enough time, I would have wanted to spend more because I didn't get to meet everybody else in the conference, but I did meet a few guys who are really, really interesting. So it's like speed dating, but it's all about business.
It's like the speed date of you get to meet a lot of people in a very short period of time. And it was pretty effective.
If you're not at the eSports Conference 2016, you don't really belong in eSports.
I would recommend this event to the eSports people. It's in a nice, relaxing location. I feel there's a lot of room for people to think big, to think visionary, to think ahead. and I think it's the content is good for it, the people are good for it, they're decision makers, and the atmosphere is great.
If you're not in the eSports 2016 conference, you're not in eSports.
Yeah, this is a really cool venue. It's a good timing, you know, during E3 when everyone's already in town. So it is a cool event that I would definitely come to again.
I'd recommend this conference to anybody looking to integrate into the esports space to better understand pretty much every facet of esports. This has been an incredible experience.
And I would even say anybody that's interested in esports. I would say anybody that's interested in breaking into a new medium to reach the millennial audience, the Z audience. I think this type of a marketing and networking conference is critical to that type of opportunity.
I would recommend it to any executive who doesn't have a clue about the industry, who wants to know more and who wants to get involved. Because I think if you don't get into the industry now, you might really miss the train. I really seriously actually mean that. It could be even from the television industry. So the gentleman from Vivendi did exactly the right thing to be here. And he was the only one. So that is already showing how much the interest is for this.
I'd recommend this event to like-minded entrepreneurs in the space, people that really want to be industry movers in the esports space, people that really care deeply about this industry and helping it grow healthily and organically. People we can get together and really make some big plays here.
So before coming out here, we recommended this event heavily, but I think as this event evolves, I think there's a great way of actually being able to carve out real areas for different corners of our industry to discuss some of the topics that are very important to certain niches within each part of esports.
If you want to build your knowledge base, you should attend more events like this, so you get to have a glimpse of the future, what you want to do based on other people's experience. People here are very open, they share, and there's this communal feeling that everybody wants to promote esports, because the bigger it is, the more people can somehow play a part in the industry.
I would recommend this conference to anyone who's interested in esports, who really wants to get through all the hype and all the talk about what esports is and how big it is and all that kind of stuff, and really get to hear the people who are driving the ecosystem and really find out what they're thinking, how they're actually doing it, and how you can participate in it. So you're getting a real raw, kind of introduction to esports that you wouldn't get in a lot of other, settings.
Yes, and definitely we will be happy to recommend this event to any kind of customers, and probably in the future the event will expand to the new markets, and also actually, for example, will be interested into partnership for example, Russian CS region.
Would definitely recommend somebody who's learning about esports or in this esports space from a networking and a knowledge perspective. This is a great event.
I would recommend it to, I don't, until today I didn't know anyone really in the esports business other than a couple folks. But from being sort of outside of the business, it was good for me as an education, and it seemed like other people that were in the business also see value.
Yeah, it's a great event for anybody that wants to learn more about esports. If you are curious about this space and you feel like you don't have a good grasp on what's going on out there, there's a lot of good experts here.
I would recommend to everybody who want to understand what's going on. Esports is very new, even if it has been around for the last 15 years, it's quite new, because the growth of esports is just 4 or 5 years old. And so I would recommend to everybody we are just wondering what's going on in this field. And it's a very good way of having, in a very short time, a good overview of what's going on.
I'll be back next year if they'll have me.
I'd recommend this conference for a lot of experts who actually want to become stronger experts. And I would especially recommend it for people who want to understand the space better. Please come by, sit in, ask questions, and you will learn so much. You'll learn from the brightest and most experienced minds in esports.